Let's do a question today. Why do I feel like I'm not good enough, even when I know logically that I've worked hard and deserve to be where I am? It feels like no matter what I do, I'm always questioning myself. How do I stop this? Well, this is a very common question, and it gets asked directly and exactly like this, and in a lot of indirect ways. And so it's this feeling that we know innately that we're good enough, that we are capable. Like intellectually, we know that. It feels like we know that. We're like, I know that I'm worthy. I know that I'm capable. I know that I'm good enough. Yet our actions aren't meeting up to that belief. So why is that? So it's because there's another belief that's stronger than that. And that belief is that you're actually not good enough. So maybe intellectually, you might think that you know that you are good enough, but you've already validated a billion reasons why in your external environment and experience in life that you're not. So you think I'm not smart enough, and then you validate through that through the lens of the world. And that is what you choose to believe. And why do you choose to believe that is the real question, right? Why are you choosing to believe that you are not good enough or that you're not worthy of the successes that you've had and that you've created in your life? So that's the place to explore. And so this is when we go into that idea of a payoff. There's always a payoff of why we do or do not do things. We are gaining something in return. You're gaining something by feeling this sense of smallness and this restriction and putting a ceiling on yourself of not being good enough and capable enough. You're getting something in return. And until you understand that question, you will keep repeating the same patterns. So you might get some successes, but you're never going to fully own them and embody them, because there's something within you that keeps you at an arm's distance. So you have to be willing to ask and explore why that's present for you. Now, the payoff concept is something I talk about a lot, and a lot of people don't like it because it doesn't make sense to them. They're like, I don't like this. I don't like this behavior. I don't like this habit. I'm not getting anything in return. I'm not doing this on purpose. But you are. There is something that is coming up within you that you are getting out of this behavior and this habit. It's a perceived payoff. It's something that is coming back to you. There is a reward, and that reward is oftentimes safety. It's where you don't have to feel seen. It's where you don't have to feel heard, and it's where you don't have to take responsibility for what happens. So for me, it was really common for me to get success and then pull myself back and then just completely derail it and just think, oh, this isn't meant for me. Or, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. Or, oh my gosh, I just wish that it was easier. And that's because if I kept going and I reached the next level of success, it was so uncomfortable for me, and it would shatter my belief that I was stupid. And I wasn't willing to let go of that belief, because that belief was like a really warm blanket. Me being stupid, me being the dumb one, me being the one that wasn't capable. That was a very uncomfortable, and also at the same time, the warmest blanket I could possibly have, because it was so safe. It was what I knew. It's how I developed my personality. Like my whole personality was attached to that. It helped me develop a lot of the really great skills that I have now. And I wasn't willing to let it go. Now, it wasn't like a conscious thought. It wasn't like, I love this story that I'm so dumb and not capable. I'm going to keep it because it's a warm blanket. That's not what that was like. I was completely unaware that that is where I was operating out of, that is where all of my thoughts and my conditioning and my experience was coming from, this space. But even when I started to really explore it, and I really started to get into that space of like, oh, well, I keep pulling myself back. Why do I keep doing this? I know I'm good enough. I know I'm capable. Yet there was still that belief and that habit that I had that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't capable. And that still felt better. It still felt safer. It was that warm, cozy blanket and an excuse. So I didn't have to take ownership if I did step into something and it didn't work out and it didn't go the way I planned, because that's okay, because I am actually kind of dumb, right? I knew it wasn't going to work out. So to be able to step into our next level, we have to shatter paradigms. We have to shatter foundations and beliefs that we've built about ourselves. And all of it, really, it becomes attached to our external personality. And so it becomes really uncomfortable. And so you have to figure out what that is for you. Right? Yours might not be my story. Feeling stupid may not be a warm, comfortable blanket for you like it was for me. And so you have to understand what you gain from not allowing yourself to experience the expansiveness and that expansive state of the next level, of fully embodying your successes and not feeling like you're not worthy and capable of them. So you can go back and look at where this came from. Where did this belief originate from, right? Go through those TRM steps. I'll drop them below so you can go deeper into them as well. So go through those steps of understanding, where did this come from? And then what do I gain from this? And how do I accept it? And then how do I let this go? What would that look like for you in your experience? And how could that change everything? So if you want to be able to feel your success, you have to understand what actually stops you from experiencing it and what you gain from not experiencing it. Because once you step into that success, now there's going to be something different. Now you're going to have to own that. And a lot of times that's uncomfortable. A lot of times it feels better just to stay in the same spot, even though we're telling ourselves we want more. There's still something in us that wants a little less, that doesn't want the responsibility, that is uncertain of how it's going to turn out. So as always, we have to turn into that. We have to turn into that space of, how do I get to know myself a little bit deeper? How do I get to understand what is coming up for me and why is it coming up for me? And what does that look like? So we take that position and we go from questioning myself and we change the texture of it. So instead of questioning yourself as in doubting yourself, it's questioning yourself as in exploring yourself. Why is this coming up for me? Why doesn't this feel good enough? And instead of shaming and blaming, we use it as a opening. Use it as a way to go inside and say, what is it that feels disconnected from this success? Why do I need that disconnect? And am I willing and ready to let it go? Is it time? So we don't want to stop the questioning ourselves. We just want to change where the questioning is coming from. So we're not questioning as in doubting and second guessing. We're questioning as in exploring and doing that deep work and beginning to allow ourselves to expand and being honest with ourselves and owning it for what comes up.